I don't know about you guys, but if I have a choice between buying Toms and a similar pair of shoes, I'm going to get the Toms. And that's a growing trend that people want to work with other people that are doing good, and it helps them feel good about themselves to see that, like, oh, when we invoice them, some of that money's going towards those guys spending a day at a soup kitchen, and that's good.
Right. And just to clarify, so Tom's shoes, if you buy a pair of their shoes, what happens?
And then they donate a pair of shoes to kids in third world countries.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Joey, how does doing good get you customers?
After we launched here in the city of Edmonton, which we love and we were born here, the company was, we were in the Vancouver Sun before the event was over, and then we got a phone call the next day from a giant event in Little Rock, Arkansas, of all places. Our first event was 6,000 people, 4 rides. This event in Little Rock was 250,000 people, and they wanted like 16 rides. So of course we said yes. But what they said was so key. She called up, she said, we've never had a carnival. We've never wanted a carnival. We've always wanted a sustainable. You guys got to get down here. They were resonating with the values of what it was, that it stood for something greater, that it was reinventing an old and maybe rusted out enjoyment concept, and rebirthing it, if you will, into something that was representative of new values. So what we are constantly makes the difference for us. It constantly equals market share.
Right.
There's no carnival. It sounds weird. I didn't mean to get into the carnival business, I promise. But there's no carnival, this is going to sound weird, there's no carnival that can compete with us. They can't. It's whether or not we can actually have the capacity to execute. That's the limiting factor, because everything is big and expensive and takes time, and we have way too much staff. But if it's us head-to-head with another carnival company, it's no contest.
Yeah. Now, Rajan, when you have to sell paper products, right?
Yeah.
So is your value proposition buy this paper because it's good for the environment, or buy this paper because it's good for your bottom line?
It's basically both. Paper is such a thing that without paper you are not born. Are you aware of that? You may be born physically, but until that birth certificate shows up, you're not born legally. You're not born without my paper, you're not dying without my paper. So, getting a market for the paper, for us, what is stopping everybody for using recycled paper? The biggest question I found out was when I was in Dubai, and even when I came here, everybody wants recycled paper, everybody wants to be green. But one thing is holding them back, the cost. And I said, with my technology, I can break that cost. I can give you the paper at the normal paper cost. We can break that. And that's why I got more enemies than friends. The paper manufacturers, they don't like me. Because we make paper with it's a very simple and unusual way. You could all come, and you're all invited to visit the factory anytime. Like it's like 24-hour operation, you can go there. But better would be during the office hours. Okay, and the difference how we make paper basically is with your waste paper, which you have in your pockets, which all these flyers and everywhere which you'll find after the show. We take that paper and we mix it with cotton clothes. And we get this cotton from the hospitals, the hotels, the bed sheets, the towels, which are discarded, which are going into the landfill. We pulp those together, mix them in my secret recipe, and make new paper. And that's why the cost, I could keep it down, because you don't have to cut a single tree. We just calculated that if in the world there are 668 cities with more than 1 million population, and if every city has one 40-ton plant, what we have in Edmonton, the number of trees we'll be saving every day? 665,000 trees a day. 665,000 trees a day. And if I calculate over a life of, say, 20 years, normally the business they calculate, it's like whole of Africa, whole of Asia, 3 times you could save that. 4 billion some odd trees. That's the amount of trees we are saving.
Okay, so we are laying some good foundation for an Emerald Award nomination.